What happens if I fall back into porn after a long streak? Many people may be wondering what could happen if they gave back into pornography after they've been on a long streak of staying away from it. You see, many times in our head, the first thing we do if we go back to something that we wish we never went to is panic. You see, many times you can have moments where you are overcome and feel relieved and feel great that you didn't go back to the pornography. But if you do, you can't allow that to be such a tragedy for you. You see, if you have your mindset that if I fall back, if I slip, if I relapse, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be devastated. I'm going to be down. And I'm going to tell you, you most likely would be bound to go back. And the reason you will is because you have to understand how to forgive yourself if you slip or went back to this thing. You see, the problem would be if you slip or went back to this thing and you didn't have the mindset to get out of it. Instead, you slip and relapse or, fell back into it the same way you were before, and you had this mindset of, I'm just going to stay here and I'm giving it all up. I'm just going to watch this porn from here on out because I had failed and I didn't want to. Never had that quitter's mindset. You see, if you went good for a while, I don't care if it's a good 24 hours, there's still progression. You got to understand, if you slip or you relapse, that don't mean that all your progress is gone. It just means you gave in and you just need to learn from your mistake, learn what triggered you, learn why you failed and what caused you to, and then move on from there. That's really all you could do. You cannot sit here and you cannot beat yourself up. You can't sit here and dwell on the fact that you done fell into this pornography. You can't dwell on the fact that you done slipped up in this thing. You gotta understand sometimes that mistake need to happen so later on down the road you don't be getting too comfortable and you mess around and do give in for this very thing that happened in the early stage. You could have been going a good 30 days and then you slip a relapse, and it would have hurt a lot more if you went 6 months and slipped a relapse for that same reason. So it's better to learn early and then get all that out the way and then go on from there. And even if a long way down the road you slip a relapse, just understand it's still a mistake to be learned from. So that's what happened if you slip a relapse. You just have to forgive yourself and do better. And also understand this. Damage is not going to be instantly done if you slip a relapse back into pornography. It takes time. People have us overthinking, and we'll have ourselves overthinking by having lack of knowledge and start saying, if I slip one time, then all of a sudden I'm tore up again. I'm back at ground zero. I'm back at square one. No, you ain't. If I relapse, if I was doing good for 60 days and then I watched pornography for a whole week, my brain is back damaged or it's in worse shape than it was. No, it ain't. It's still all right. You just got to get back to that habit and that lifestyle of staying away from the pornography. So don't ever think everything is just done. Don't think that the devil just got a grasp on you again. Don't think that you ain't made no progress. Don't think that you shouldn't even been trying to stay away because you done messed around and failed. If you did, then you just did. Just learn and keep it pushing. Because I'm going to tell you, I done had so many days where I done went good amount of streaks, good amount of days. Of course, I shouldn't focus on the streaks or the days like that, but I know that I went that long because, you just sometimes can't help but pay attention to it. It's natural to do that, but I say don't hardcore focus on that thing of how long of a streak you're on, but still, it's the fact that, I went for a good amount of time and I slipped a relapse, and I had to understand that it was still something that I could take in and turn it to good. It ain't always got to be something that you just look at completely bad. Of course, it's a bad thing you slip a relapse. I'm not saying you want to watch pornography. I'm not saying you want to go back. I'm not promoting that or rooting you on to do that. But I'm saying if that did happen, turn that negative into a positive as quick as possible. Don't let that negativity sink in. Don't let that condemnation sink in. Don't let none of that sink in. Let that conviction from God come. Learn from it. And then after that, put it in your mind that I'm not going to allow myself to fall the same way I did as last time because I'm learning from this mistake I made. I'm not finna sit here, and if I did slip or relapse again, I'm not finna sit here and beat myself up, because I understand I can't take it that serious, the fact that I done failed. Yes, it's a serious thing that I done failed, but I still gotta understand I need the grace of God to overcome anyway, so I'm not perfect. So you can't sit there and try to be holier than God himself, and you can't sit there and try to be so perfect, because that's never gonna happen. Just understand you both flesh and spirit. You bound, or you are capable to fall at some point. It may not be with this pornography, but in other ways you may fall, and understand this. If it is with the pornography, you just gotta learn. But I pray this video bless you, and I pray you like, subscribe, and comment, and link in the description for the Instagram, and for the Cash App if you're led to make a donation. I pray that you will just be blessed in Jesus' name.